Good morning.
Morning.
Welcome to Coffee Beanery Sip and Share. I'm Laurie.
I'm Patti.
And Will.
And we have Duke.
Oh, yes.
And little Duke.
And Duke.
He blends in the couch. He's hard to see.
Yeah. Doesn't help that I'm wearing gray today, too. Actually, does he match my hair? Are we the same color?
Oh, you are the same color.
I have a dog. You get a dog that matches your hair.
Once you get a little gray in there, it'll be fine.
I'm not looking forward to that day.
No.
Not looking forward to that. We are back freshly from Jamaica.
And if you saw our live last week, I apologize for our 2-second live, but we were on a beach and we forgot. Britton reminded us, so we went live, and then this guy was standing there, and I guess we were in the VIP section.
No, we weren't supposed to be
we
in.
were not supposed to be there. I was like, well, thank you for waiting till after before you told us to move.
Before you kicked us out, yeah.
But it was pretty fun.
Yeah, we had a great time. I think our
franchisees
really liked it. I've gotten pictures from everybody who's attended, and they love going.
Yeah, I loved it.
It's always nice to just be together and see each other. And then it was really special because Julius and Joanne, our founders, were there.
Yeah, for sure.
Which was nice. They had a pretty quick flight from Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
They got home and we were still in Atlanta waiting for a plane.
So what we did last week was we celebrated our 50th anniversary, which our 50th anniversary is this year. So we have a whole year of celebration.
Yeah.
And we kicked it off with our annual franchise convention. We like the last couple of conventions we've done, we like to go to like a coffee growing region. So we went to Jamaica. We've gone to Costa Rica twice before. But this time we're like, we've never been
We
to
had a Guatemalan
the
trip scheduled, but then the world got a little topsy-turvy.
Yeah.
So good morning, Patti.
Yeah. Hey, Patti. Lovely to see you. How's it in California today? Hopefully warmer than here.
So it was very nice. I mean, it was with the hurricane going through there, we just weren't sure what to expect. So we did bring stuff for
did you get to give it to anybody?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I did. Ernest, our driver, I gave him Jamaican coffee and a little tumbler and stuff. He was thrilled with that. So
good. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah. Right. Like, because the hurricane hit, I think November 12th, something like that. And we were kind of watching it because we're like, we don't know what the island's going to be like, or.
Well, and we don't want to put pressure on a system that doesn't need pressure.
Right.
Either,
right. Do they want people to come after they had a hurricane? Do they want us to leave them alone?
Hi, Bill.
The answer is they very much want your tourism. The island.
They were
is
begging for it.
hurting.
They're like, please still come
back.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you how many people asked if I was going to come back when we were leaving. Are you going to come back? Are you going to come back? Are you going to come back? Tell your friends, come back.
Morning,
Bill.
we flew into Ocho. Our convention was at Ocho Rios. Ocho's Rios. And I loved it there. There was a lot to do. It's a very fun place to go. There's excursions and a tiny, tiny little airport.
Yeah. One gate. And like the room was like 50 people could fit in this room, maybe, while we were waiting to board.
Yeah. You felt really up close and personal with the culture when we were out there.
Board on the tarmac.
Sure.
I mean, they were really serious in that little airport too. They weren't messing around.
The cutest thing happened when we were leaving. So obviously we had a lot of people have to cancel our trip because of weather cancellations and, just airports in general being closed down, flights delayed. This beautiful woman walks in and she says, "Oh, my flight to Raleigh is canceled. Oh no, I'm going to be in Jamaica for another day. Don't tell me I'm going to be in Jamaica another day." So fun fact, she had actually been canceled every day for a week.
Oh gosh.
And
I believe that the North Carolinas got hammered.
She just kept rebooking her villa and was like, "Oh no, I'm going to have to work from Jamaica. What am I going to do?"
Well, at least she could afford it, though. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Is you go there and you have to start rebooking rooms.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are all inclusive, so it's not inexpensive.
Yeah.
But it was wonderful that Houston and Caitlin went to the Blue Hole, and all the guys did flow riding.
Oh, yeah.
Will
like
tried to drop in from the top.
It
I
didn't
got
work
video
out.
evidence of
My
that.
8-second video of it.
Yeah, sometimes you think you're younger than you still are,
It was just like, the guy's like, "Really? You want to?" It's like, "Yeah, sure." I'm going, "Okay."
Yeah,
Did I send you that
I'm
video?
like, I don't know how athletic, but Will seems pretty athletic, but I must be really athletic.
The angle I got of Will falling on that just looks like you just like bashed smash your face. Like you should be unconscious, but you popped right up.
Yeah, it was a soft landing. But yeah, it was very hard. Caitlin did great.
Caitlin was the best at it.
Yeah, she did so good.
Really good.
Yeah.
The other woman was really good too. Yeah, it was pretty. And Sedona did much better than I thought she would.
Yeah, they did great.
You can't.
Mo says Ocho Rios climbing the falls is so fun. So some of our franchisees went and did that, and they had a great time. And I think Luis and Angelica did too. They sent me pictures.
I just wanted some sun. And I'm so glad we took advantage of the first 3 days of sun because then there was no more sun.
Yeah. Just rainy
then we
and
went
cold.
to Montego Bay and it just it was windy. It wasn't that cold. It was just windy.
Yeah.
And then the second day it was pretty. It was fine. It was nice. We walked downtown Montego Bay, which just was interesting. You are not getting down,
we were fortunate to have good weather those Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for sure.
But we are going to have like our official 50th is like in August, so we'll have big birthday. What?
Mo said she jumped on the cliff in the grill at Rick's Cafe. Everybody talks about Rick's Cafe.
Yeah, that was a big deal.
Yeah, like people travel far for Rick's Cafe. I don't exactly know what it is, but people talk about it all the time. If you're in the grill,
honey, but you can't go down there.
So, sounds like fun.
You can't go down there.
Sounds like fun. But yeah, we were in Ocho Rios, so we were about a 2.5 hour ride into the Blue Mountains. So last Thursday we boarded a bus with 20 of us and went on a very adventurous ride into the mountains. And it was adventurous.
Well, and some of the roads had been washed out, so it was a little interesting. Taking a big bus through
absolutely
there and through the military.
Interesting is the word. Interesting is the word.
Yeah.
I mean, it was similar to when you go to Costa Rica or you go up any of the mountains. The roads are not meant for big vehicles. Yeah. So
my words are terrifying, scary.
But I don't like it. Took us 2.5, actually 3 hours to get up and 4 hours to get down because we stopped at Kingston.
At the Devon House.
But when we were up there, I mean, I'm so happy that I can say I went to the Jamaican Blue Mountains and actually saw coffee being roasted.
Yes.
And the guy was doing it like in a pan. Yes. I did do it, but I didn't want to mess up the batch.
Yeah. I mean, he had fresh picked beans right off the mountain that he threw onto his fire, roasting them right on the spot.
Yeah, they're like, oh, there's coffee. There's coffee plants right there. And then all of a sudden just pops off a cliff a guy with a machete. And it's like, oh, you were down there and didn't die.
So, well, and let's talk about that for a second because Jamaican Blue Mountain is the most expensive coffee we sell. It was the most expensive coffee in the world for a while until they started doing that civet coffee where the cats eat it. And then
marsupial.
And I'm sorry, but that's never going to be for me. I don't think that's ever going to be for us.
I don't even know if you can call that coffee at that point because
and also
really
can you pull a shot of espresso with it?
I think it's poo. I don't think it's at that point. I don't think it's coffee. I think it's poo.
Sure.
I just I always go back to who decided to go through the cat box and get that and roast it. And
they got washed in the rain and they're like, oh, where'd that come from?
And you can see too how that soil up in the Blue Mountains is so nice because they get that rainfall. You know,
the beautiful fog.
They do. It really is like a little rainforest up there. So it's amazing.
Well, and so again, like getting to the mountains is such a chore, right? Like it was a huge thing. We're at a high elevation. And when we were in Costa Rica, like there were areas of like, it seemed like flat areas. And I'm sure there were in Jamaica as well. I didn't see them. But like they would, like Laurie said, like we're just sitting there on a slope and somebody just like pops over the side of a cliff. And we're like, how did you even do that?
I just go to housing. Because those houses that are just like, hanging off a cliff. Like there's no home inspector going, oh yeah, this is good and safe. So
permit? What?
Yeah.
There is no permit. It is 2 pieces of corrugated tin with a
in London. And I did stay at just a most beautiful resort in Costa Rica, and it was built into the side of the mountain. And at night, they'd built amphitheater things. So you could go up there and watch the sunset. But I did have nightmares I was going to fall because, like with seismic shifting and stuff, mean, stuff can happen in land. So I don't know.
Wow. Yeah. No, thank you.
But
no, thank you.
But everybody was, I mean, for the most part, it was very nice on our other resort that we went to. the highlight of our trip was going to the Michael Jackson show. It was so funny. We just died laughing.
Really?
We died laughing. It was, I mean, on skill level 0 of 10, I think it's a 2. So then the next night it was the circus, and we're like, oh, this is gonna be fabulous. Like, we're just gonna go there. But actually the circus was very good. They had really good vocals, and it was actually
Really?
an amazing show.
Wait, was there animals
So,
though? I think circus.
There
make
was
animals.
no animals. It was like unicycle people
Oh,
and
okay. Acrobatic
flippy
stuff.
acrobatics,
Okay.
and then just a whole like Greatest Showman montage of people singing. So that was
Moa
pretty
says
cool.
they love fat white women in Jamaica. I was like a supermodel there.
That is so funny.
I love that. That's
Yes.
great. And she also said
But-
Rick's is on the far west of the island. Everyone goes there to party and watch the sunset.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good morning, Charles.
Okay. No, we had a nice time. It's just nice spending time together.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
With our family and people who are like family.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
It is
I was
funny.
adopted all week.
Yeah, really nice to see our franchisees and
And
everything.
see our
Yeah.
It was
franchisees
awesome,
and
Yeah.
for
a
sure.
couple sponsors.
Yeah, for
For
sure.
vendors.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
nice.
No, shout out to everybody who went. Yeah, right.
Yes. And thank you to our sponsors. We appreciate you.
Very much so.
It was definitely a super fun time and a great way to kick off 50 years. And I'm really glad I got to see the process of the Blue Mountains, and just because, again, we go back to the absolute extreme that you have to go through to get the beans.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, when I tell you this guy popped over a cliff, and this cliff is like
Yeah.
this, I'm like, sir, how? I
Yeah.
didn't see a rope.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't
Yeah,
see a
it
rope.
is.
How did that
Well, and
happen?
then they're literally just roasting it in a big pan, like a big
Yeah.
wok.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. No, it was something. It was something.
It was interesting.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
seed to cut process
So,
is amazing.
I have a ton of videos I'll be putting together and posting throughout the next couple of weeks so you guys can see what we saw there as well. We're still playing a little bit of catch up from being back, but definitely a lot of wonderful stuff to share
Yeah.
with you guys about our trip.
for
And
sure.
Very thankful for everybody who's been here to make it 50 years, and just it's going to be a year.
Yeah,
I'm
50
excited.
years is crazy for a company. I
Yeah.
don't know how many percentage of companies make it 50 years.
No,
I'd be
not
interested
even
to
close.
know.
Well,
I
and
mean,
remains
nobody-
family owned without being
Right.
sold off,
Yeah.
right?
But
Like, how often does that happen?
I mean, it's going on third generation. I know that's the likelihood of third generation is very small.
Yeah, because how
Yeah.
many people just decide they want to do something else?
Well,
you
that's I
know?
think
Mhm.
part of it's just the passion of it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, if my kids just really wanted to be dentists or construction work,
Yeah.
whatever, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's nice that they're really passionate about coffee.
Can't see some of Mo's comments. Let me put it on the screen and see if you can see
Oh,
that.
most of the funniest. I was like a supermodel. I
You
just
know,
love
you
it.
never know what Facebook is going to censor. So there's that. If Jen's here and she says the word banana, they don't seem to like banana very much
They
either.
do not like that. Yeah, I had to do a dance off. It wasn't.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. In the dance off final though, this guy just whipped his shirt off, and he was like 70 and hairy. It was like, oh, he won instantly.
So to be fair, if you had whipped your shirt off, would you have won?
Yeah, you
This
should.
was funny. Well, there was on our team. It was a woman, and I could tell she was like 72, and she's like, maybe it's like I don't think it's as funny when a girl does it.
I mean, honestly, though, like because that's the point, right? He thinks you're not going to, but then you
Right.
meet him where he's at.
Yeah,
You got him.
Yeah.
I think you'd win.
Could be,
I think you'd
be.
win.
but
You never know.
it was nice to go, and it's so nice to come home too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it does really make me appreciate, obviously, seeing my puppies. I miss my
Yeah.
puppies, but, just we are so blessed. I mean,
Yes.
and then we were talking about that a little bit. It's like, the people that don't have stable homes and electricity and plumbing and things that we really just take for granted,
Yeah.
transportation.
Yeah.
So it is,
Mhm.
it just makes me very thankful.
Mhm.
Yep, for sure.
I've said that so many times since I've come home. I love going to other countries, but I think the joy really for me is in coming home.
Yeah.
Look at these things that, America's not like any other country. It really isn't.
Yeah.
Well, and those things don't bring you happiness either, right? Do you
Right.
know what I mean? You don't have to have
Yeah.
nice homes, but it would just be, I always think for those mothers that are wondering how they're going to feed their kids or keep them warm or, that those are struggles that we don't have, that I don't have.
Yeah.
Some people here definitely have them, but I think there's resources for people.
Yeah, definitely
for
more
sure.
resources than not. So but
so we try to bless them when they're there. We brought kids toys and toothpaste and toothbrushes and soap and just stuff to help out.
Yeah, for sure.
Threw a lot of high fives all over the place in Jamaica, for sure.
It cracked me up though, because like Will made friends with everybody. All of the staff. I'm walking around, he's giving out hugs and high fives, and I'm like, what happened? We've only been here like a day.
I thought it was.
He was
great
a superstar.
Yeah, I loved it out there. For me too, it's like it's a reminder too that we get our coffee from the most beautiful places in the world. And then we know how we roast it here, so it puts everything, the whole picture together for us. Really nice.
I gave our driver to the airport. I gave him some of our Jamaican coffees, and he was so thrilled by it.
Well, and my dentist was there when we were there, but he was in the grill, and he said that he wanted to buy Jamaican coffee, but it costs as much as it is here to buy.
Right.
And I was like, oh yeah, mine didn't cost that much because I was in the mountains.
Because we survived. It was like a military.
Yeah,
I felt like we survived.
Next week
that bus.
I'll bring the coffee that I bought, and we can taste it side by side. I meant to bring it today.
We should have Logan do it over the.
I think that'd be a good idea.
Oh, the pour over. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Pour over for it.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
He did ours during over a pour over, and it was amazing. I couldn't believe Jamaican could get better, but over a pour over, it was amazing.
Yeah, Jamaican coffee is just so smooth and just balanced, and it's really it's an expensive coffee, but it's good. It's expensive and good for a reason.
Yeah, for sure.
In my humble opinion. Miriam says, they're my favorite bean girls. Hope your trip was fun and restful.
Thank you. It was.
All right, Miriam.
It's we at our work here and we work together and have such a great time, but it's so nice to just kind of have fun together.
Yeah,
so
it was nice. We needed that. I'm like, how long has it been since we've had a couple days
in the sun? And we all needed sun so badly. Oh my goodness!
I got burned good.
Sun on my face.
Just completely rejuvenated.
My tan lines were just ridiculous. I'm like, how is this even a possibility?
And then we had, Patti and I actually sent Kevin on mission to go get us some floats.
Yeah.
$47 each. I think I brought them home. I had a suitcase, and I'm like, I'm bringing these $47
these things are gold.
Home.
Yeah, but it was nice.
Oh yeah, sweet.
All-inclusive resort.
Because the other one they couldn't.
Everybody started drinking at 10 a.m.
Yeah, their chicken. Oh, we did go to KFC there.
Oh yeah,
because
KFC is a thing there.
KFC is like
it's a big deal, Mom.
They grow all their chickens on there. They raise all their chickens on the island. Their chicken there was fabulous. It was like when I was a kid. Their chicken was so good.
Chicken that doesn't have antibiotics and junk.
But I didn't know when you get a big box of KFC, it's like I got chicken poppers, 2 pieces of chicken, coleslaw, French fries, a biscuit. It was just insane.
You said the biscuits were good too. I didn't try the biscuit. Their coleslaw was good. But then I heard that what we were supposed to try was actually the barbecue chicken, not like their regular chicken, because it was pretty similar to like
their jerk chicken was great. And the second resort we went to, their jerk chicken was, I think, even better.
Sure. I love the jerk chicken.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm sad that I didn't try the jerk chicken sooner in our trip, because I would have eaten it every day.
Rice, beans, and jerk chicken.
Yeah.
It was
so
for
good.
sure.
I really like that. I really like that.
Oh, baby.
And then we had Jamaican juicy patties on the last day.
Yeah.
And I had to look up what that was, because
it had a little spice in it.
So it was actually curry chicken, which I know like people really do. Yeah, which I didn't know if I liked or not, but I loved it. I thought it was delicious. So very good. Mo says, Olympic back. I saw the bobsled from the first Jamaican bobsled team on the beach in the grill. The 7-mile white sand beach, and it was there. That's cool.
Oh, yeah. We talked about going in the grill, and then people said not to.
Yeah.
Unless you were in the resort area.
Curried goat is the best. I don't think so, Mo. No, I don't want to do it. We did see lots of goats just like walking the streets in the cities that we were driving through. And that was cool. It's just cool, like things you don't see here.
The rules of it. It's like, so if a goat comes out and your car hits it and gets damaged, you get to take the goat as your payment for the car damage. That is now your goat.
Like lightly tap the goat. I could use a goat today, and you lightly tap it. Like that's my goat.
In Jamaica.
Yeah. Well, keep what you could.
Well, yeah. That's like, who wants a? I mean, I guess they want a dead goat. I don't know. It was
Oh,
very interesting.
yeah.
So they are
Interesting.
people's goats that are wandering. They belong to somebody.
I wonder if they tag them or something. Because how do you
No,
know?
they just know. They know whose is whose. But then if the goat hits your car, now it's your goat.
Yeah, but like so many goats look the same. Like, how do you know? Like, that's my black goat.
People just know.
I guess so. I'd be painting its nails or something. Like, that's how I know it's my goat.
No.
Nobody's got prettier pink toes than my goats.
They have bows in their hair painted.
Yeah. My
No,
cousin-
because someone definitely hit that goat because they'd want it then.
Yeah.
I want that painted.
That's
toe
true. Make it
goat.
ugly. Like, give it like teeth black or something. That's good. It doesn't have any teeth.
And I just love it because all the islands they sell my favorite
Oh,
stone.
yeah. What
the
is that
Larimar.
stone?
Larimar.
Yeah.
Larimar.
You don't
Larimar.
find it very many other places, right?
No,
Did you get another one?
Interesting.
Maybe.
We had a whole thing about how Kevin had to get her a bracelet.
So
And he did. Did he get you too?
Well, I was gonna get money on the street in Montego Bay, and then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get money at the ATM, and then everybody just started handing me money. I was like, great, I
Perfect.
can go
Yeah.
buy bracelets.
Yeah,
now.
bracelets are great.
So
Nice to come home with a couple of little souvenirs of island
I
life.
do love Larimar.
No,
So
it's really pretty.
it's my
I
favorite.
watched The Housemaid last night.
Oh, you did.
I was up late watching The Housemaid last
Oh.
night.
Yeah.
I thought it was good.
It was really good. And the guy, oh, he is yummy. Brandon
Really?
Skelenar. Yeah.
Which one?
The main guy.
The main guy?
Yeah.
Hmm.
If you've seen The Housemaid, let us know. It's
Yeah,
pretty.
it was good. And the book is very good.
Mhm.
Very,
Yeah.
very good.
And the book is a little different the way that it ends, I'm going to say. But
Okay.
you should. So
Oh,
Frida
a
McFadden
shantytown? Yeah,
is a great author.
I believe that Montego Bay was a shanty town.
Yeah,
It was
crazy.
pretty. I mean, it was sad to see the damage. And we were right. I mean, that water line is right on the coast, and the water was hitting it so hard it was coming over the road. And
Wow.
like we were in Margaritaville, right on the
Oh,
beach,
yeah,
and
I
it
saw
was
the video
into
Branson
the.
showed me.
It was like halfway into the restaurant
Seriously.
that the waves were coming up.
Wow.
It was pretty crazy.
That is crazy.
And there was a Starbucks there,
Wow.
which was pretty funny.
That is crazy. Well, and I'm going to say, like, I don't really feel like I saw a lot of damage in the Ocho Rios side. Like, nothing that I noticed, right? I was mainly
You
on the
would.
resort.
Montego Bay
Yeah.
was pretty.
And
Yeah.
Montego Bay was supposed to be a lot worse. So,
Yeah.
But I remember
We were
only
like
2 months
20
out.
minutes from Montego Bay where we
Yeah.
stayed.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, that's.
and I guess that's, well, I mean, the downtown is where the airport is. So,
Mhm.
it was, there wasn't much of it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say.
But
That's just crazy.
But beautiful place though, for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah. And
And-
wonderful people.
Yeah.
And
definitely go. Like, if you're thinking about going,
Yeah,
we stayed
I
at
would
Moon
go.
Palace. It was beautiful.
Moon Palace was really nice.
Yeah,
I
the
would
service-
recommend that.
The service
Yeah.
was great, I
Yeah.
thought, for the most part.
Yep, in Ocho Rios. That was a nice place to stay. Our flights got canceled on the way down.
Yeah, Ocho
Completely
Rios
canceled.
is definitely worth the drive.
Yeah.
Even if you fly into Montego Bay, I would go there because
Yeah.
when we're in Montego Bay, all of the excursions we're going back to Ocho. I mean, going back like an hour and a half there. So it's
Mhm.
like I was glad we were
Yeah, close
to
by.
do that, to do the Dunn River and the Blue Hole and the
Yeah.
sanctuary and
Oh yeah, Kirby and Olivia did the sanctuary, and they said it was like beautiful, and they had
Mhm.
pictures of them with the big parrots and whatnot.
Mhm.
I'm glad that people like went out and did stuff
Yeah,
like that.
and Rena, she did
Yeah.
zip lining.
Yeah.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, all the ATV, everything. Because I thought we were going to do that Montego Bay, and that was
Mhm.
all
Yep.
going backwards.
I hate to say it, I'm a pool girl. I'm happy to just chill in the sun and read my book and just relax rather than do some of the excursions.
But if you would have had another day, there,
yeah,
you would have wanted
yeah,
to.
for
So,
sure, for sure.
but we just didn't have much time for sun.
Yeah,
For
I would
sure.
I would go back for sure. If I got a deal at Moon Palace somehow, I'd be like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm going.
Yeah. Well, so the last time I was in Jamaica was 1998. Very different from the first time. More built up. Yeah. It is crazy when you go places and you're like, I haven't been here in a minute, and it looks completely different. Like every time I drive into Flint, actually, I'm like, this is way different than it was when I grew up.
Yeah,
And-
but then the downtown and stuff is really nice.
Mhm.
So, like, Detroit is beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, they've done an amazing job in Detroit. It is so pretty.
Yeah. I haven't been down there in a while. I guess it's time. Besides going to the airport, right? Which doesn't really count. It's
That's
not downtown.
not
It's
downtown,
not downtown.
for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna be going to a couple Pistons games, I think.
So
yeah.
We're
Mo,
the best team of the year.
Oh, really? Oh, I
Crazy.
did not
That
know
is
that.
crazy.
Oh, it's because
Yeah.
I remember the what is it, the
Bad
80s
Boys
or
were back.
whatever.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Bad Boys were
Yeah.
rocking and rolling right now
In the
Detroit.
90s, I
That's
think.
great.
So yesterday I had a dentist appointment in the morning, and my dentist had just come from Jamaica as well. He was in the grill, and he made sure to say right away, I wasn't at any of those beaches.
And in Montego Bay, there was a beaches resort, there was select resort, and then the third one was 18 plus or whatever. They had adults, whatever.
Adults
and
only.
they had like their windows were darkened to like go over to that side, and they had like a security guard there at all
There's no
times.
windows on the beach.
So I don't know what's going on over on that side, but
One of our guys here likes to go to the couples resort on the west side in the grill, and he says there's beaches like that. I think there's a whole island that you take a boat to where everybody
there was even
very
optional.
it was
free.
hard to find a resort that wasn't 18. And then they had it seemed like all of them had like some island thing that I don't know what happened in the island, but it was definitely clothing
what happens
optional.
on the island stays on the island.
Clothing optional.
Apparently.
So
We didn't go to any of those. We were at a family-friendly resort. We had,
with
you know,
lots of kids.
with lots of kids, which is great because there was like a kiddie area, the flow rider.
Yeah.
I
They had
didn't
a lot
like
of space to
like the dolphin excursion kind of like made me sad just because it wasn't in a very big space for the dolphins to be in. I didn't love that, but you could go and swim with the dolphins.
Well,
if
we
you
didn't
wanted
really
to.
go see how big it was.
Yeah.
But it just I really don't want to support that much.
Yeah. It's just like
It seemed. I mean, we go to Discovery Cove, and they've got a really nice natural habitat for the dolphins.
Free Willy came out when I was a kid, man. I'm all about let's take care of Simu. Shamu, not Simu. SeaWorld, Shamu.
Yeah.
Do they still have Shamu at SeaWorld? Is that still a thing?
So they did that Blackfish documentary a while back, and it kind of they shut down some SeaWorld locations after that. But they still do.
They do a show.
Yeah.
Yeah. They just nobody can get in the water with them anymore.
Yeah.
So they
That's
changed
fair.
it to that, which makes sense. And I mean, we know people that actually were a victim. Their family member was a victim of that, and they don't blame the
It's just tough when a wild animal that big in a pool, it's tough for sure.
And you never know what's going to trigger an animal, any animal, right? Duke could lash out and bite us right now. Are you going to do that?
Well, that's why animals, I have a healthy respect for them, because they're at the end of the day, they are animals. So
yeah, absolutely.
So who knows? Who knows what will happen with my
Did you guys have any
rats.
fish in Jamaica?
Not really, because it's. Did you?
I thought it was amazing.
The one we had that the
one that I
driver's
had-
wife made, I think, was
I didn't have that.
Snapper?
We
That was
had
good.
fish at Margaritaville, and it was not good at all.
Yeah, the one I had was I don't know what it was, but
I mean, we had some lobster, but it's not cold water, so it's all got to be farm. So the tilapia and stuff probably would be really good there.
Yeah.
I didn't have any though.
Yeah, it was good.
Where'd you have it at?
At the Jerk Hut.
Oh,
they
brought
had
because
that.
you could get the chicken, and then they had a whole fish they'd bring out,
I didn't know
and
that.
so I got the jerk chicken and the fish.
That
Yeah.
sounds good.
Because
But
I do love when we went to where did we go? And they just ate up all. It was Costa Rica. We ate up all their fish. It was delicious.
Morning, Donna.
Well, gosh, thank you for indulging our Jamaica thing.
Yes.
But next week we will try. What we should do is try our Jamaica and their
That's
Jamaican.
what I wanted to do.
And just kind of see. I will say there were a lot of defects in there. I don't think that's the Jamaican we buy.
So
for sure.
I definitely was picking out defects
Uh-huh.
in the coffee when I was sitting there. And
Yeah.
defects, if you didn't know, so we buy grade 1 specialty coffee, which means that there's only something like 1 to 5 defects per pound, I think.
Yeah.
I have a video, and I've talked about this before, and I've shared it before, from Costa Rica, the La Manita farm that we go to, where there's a room of women who literally sit and hand pick the defects out. Because that defect is what gives you like a sour note or a bitter note.
That's why when they cup coffee, they'll have several, because one of them could have a bad bean in it. And not only do they sort them, but then after the ladies sort it goes to professional sorters, and they sort it again.
Right. So you can look at it, and I'm going to say too, like the pan version of like roasting, definitely wasn't even, right?
Yeah, of course.
You know, when you
Yeah.
look
You
at
could
the
even see the
pictures
end
of
It was
it.
very,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was very rustic style.
But I mean, cool that that's like the way that, you know,
yeah.
that they do
Yeah,
that, right?
right.
It's a method.
Well,
like
yeah.
you said, you're going to try it.
Well, they were even utilizing the spring water from the mountain
Yeah.
and percolating the coffee right there.
Yeah.
So it was a very, like I said, raw way of doing
It was
it.
very
old
authentic.
school,
It was
authentic.
cool to see one time.
I
for
thought
sure.
it was cool to see.
Yeah, for sure.
And to just say you've been to, I mean, how many people can say they've been in the Jamaican Blue Mountains? I mean, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and had a mountain.
It's pretty trek up there.
Yeah, very pretty, very pretty. But yeah.
So we'll try the
Amazing.
coffees next week
Yes.
and see what we think.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Well, then I guess we'll see you guys next time.
Yep.
All right. Everybody have a
Thanks for
wonderful
listening.
day. Stay
All right.
warm.
Take care.